Hi guys, hope you're having a good day today. Okay, there's something I want to talk about, something rather concerning. So 3 years ago, I stumbled on a bio of somebody that I thought was, a role model in a way, and I'll tell you, his name is Jason Arday. Some of us would have heard about what happened to him. So 3 years ago, I saw a newspaper headline, youngest professor of Cambridge, and what struck me the most and what drew me to this particular personality was the fact that he was autistic and non-speaking up until the age of 11. Some of us know that this page is really about my son who was diagnosed with Down syndrome, autism, and ADHD. So these characters inspire mothers like us when we think about how much we have to spend on our son's education just to get speech therapists. You know how much we spend, but most of the time we don't mind investing in our children with special needs because of what we know they can become. And that is why this Jason was an inspiration, or is still an inspiration to us. Some days ago, the media has been trending actually about his passing. The circumstances that surrounds his passing is very, very disturbing. I'm so sad for him. I mean, for his family. And I can't even begin to imagine what his parents are going through and what his family. I know he has children and he has a spouse, and I can't even begin to imagine what they're going through. This is probably a family that would have looked back before the whole circumstances surrounding his passing, and they would have been, thank God and be happy that they've achieved, and they will be a role model now to people. So here is the thing. For so many years, he has been subject to media scrutiny about the authenticity of his PhD or of his the books that he wrote, and so on and so forth, up to the point that he was put under severe pressure. First of all, just imagine 3 years, you're clearing your name for 3 years. You're going to, you get up, you go to work, and you're thinking to yourself, what kind of allegation would they impose on me, or what would they accuse me of today? I've not finished clearing or confirming, or I've not finished clearing my name on this issue. What issue comes up next? Just imagine the kind of mental stress that can give any human being. How much more somebody who has an underlying diagnosis of autism? Because it's not in all cases that autism leaves a person. So sometimes it's a lifelong diagnosis, and you just learn to live with it. So that already puts his mental health at risk, and then that. So it is a sad. Oh well, I wouldn't say it's a sad week, but that has made me really, really sad. So the question I want to ask now is, okay, just for those who do not know about this case, it's trending in the media now. But so what happened was that for 3 years he suffered allegations, and he ended up resigning. I'm fast forwarding this now. He ended up resigning, and then 9 days after his resignation from University of Cambridge, he was found dead in his home. And before he was found dead that morning, what is being said was that he sent an email or a text message to a friend, letting the friend know that he could not carry on. So that implies a lot, doesn't it? So it connects. You can easily connect that to his passing. So people are sure that must have been a suicidal note, in quotes, and then that led him to, take his own life. I want to hope that purpose has been fulfilled in that man's life. Because at the end of the day, sometimes it's a tragic ending, but it doesn't mean that he has not achieved purpose. But the question I want to ask is, those of us, parents, who have special needs children, who are ready to, or not children, well, you know what I mean, but who are ready to do anything it takes to help make them successful, what would that kind of news do to us? In the midst of all these things, all the sadness and everything that is going on, and lest I forget, there's another thing that is really upsetting me in the media. You will think that the worst has happened, this man has died, so let everybody correct the way they impose pressure. And they say it was racially, he was racially prejudiced, put it simply, or keep it short. So there is a high possibility that this might not happen if he wasn't a black person. Never mind the fact that he was an autistic man. So coming back to the question I keep asking, and it can be a rhetorical question that we don't have to answer, but we just think about, what should those coming up do? Should we stop trying our best to give our children the best education, to do everything it takes for our children to achieve this, this kind of success that this man achieved, at the risk of being subjected to that level of scrutiny? It's very sad. This is something we need to think about. We need to end racial prejudice. We need to end racism. I'm going to speak it and say it point blank. We need to end racism. The Equality Act is, the aim of the Equality Act of 2010 is to protect those from ethnic minorities who might suffer as a result of their disability, and so many things. And this man, this Jason, was an inclusive advocate. For want of a better expression, he was an inclusive advocate. And for it to end up like this, it's an irony. But I just want to hope that his message has been passed. Racism is serious, and inclusive rights exist for a reason. Are these rights being met? Now, I don't know. I was not too sure what I was going to say before I started this, but my heart is heavy. My heart is heavy. But there's a part of me that feels that purpose has been met. Now, from me to you, especially send parents, don't give up trying to do your best for the children with special needs. They are not castaways. They are important, and they have rights as much as everyone else, and they have prospects. Now, the media has been, rather than repenting and saying, one thing, we did wrong by this young man, they have been trying to add salt to injury, as if it is even possible to add salt to injury, and been saying, I read something about, after his death, I read something in the media along the lines of, was he really not able to speak at the age of 11? But the sources not say that he was able to speak. It's almost as if they are trying to undo everything that the man stood for. So if he could not speak at the age of 11, I don't even know what to say, but would he lie? Would he tell lies to say, okay, what reason did he have to lie? Did he not have a diagnosis? Why would, instead of the media, somebody has just died, repent of it and say, okay, where have we gone wrong? Where have we gone wrong as an establishment? Yeah, this is what the university should do. Where have we done wrong? What have we done wrong, rather, as an establishment? Rather than find ways to make all the allegations that were never confirmed sound more plausible especially when the subject matter cannot wake up to defend himself. This is upsetting. However, I pray for the family, that God will bless them and give them the fortitude to bear the loss and hope for the best. Thank you for listening.